Today I'm going to be showing you guys this 7'1" stretch playmaker with a 98 pass accuracy that can move like a guard on NBA 2K24. Now before we get started with today's video, gentlemen, it is the holiday season, and what better gift to give to basketball fans than a jersey which you could buy at pristinejerseys.com. You're going to find a bunch of high quality jerseys that you could get at a really great price on this site. Link is going to be down in the description. Alright, so when it comes to making this build, we're actually going to be going with the height 7'1". Wingspan's also going to be 7'1", so we're going minimum wingspan, which is going to get us a bunch of really great shooting badges. And then weight, we ended up going with 225 pounds, just so we can get some strength on this build. A little bit of a disclaimer before we start this video. This build is not for everyone, okay? This is a build that I made with the idea of playing with rec randoms, where spacing is going to be really bad. So this build is not going to have a whole lot of finishing, but it's going to have crazy shooting, playmaking, and defensive capabilities. So starting things off with the finishing, we're going to have an 80 driving layup, which is going to get us pro touch on Hall of Fame, as well as slithery on silver. And you're also going to get access to the Nikola Jokic layup style, which is, in my personal opinion, the best layup style for bigs in this game. Now again, huge disclaimer when it comes to this build. I did not put a whole lot of driving dunk or standing dunk on this build because the intention of making this build was to have it be really great with playing with random players where I have no idea about how good or how bad the spacing is going to be. So I didn't want to put too great a finishing onto my build, because if I'm playing with people that can't shoot and I can't drive to the rim, why do I even have finishing on my build in the first place? But even with that being said, we do have some finishing clips on this build right here. Look at that, man. That's the floater. That's the Nikola Jokic floater right here. Someone's trying to press me super high. We blow by dribble right on past him, and we just hit him with the floater. It's an easy bucket, man. All right, so now when it comes to the shooting, we're going to have a 93 mid-range shot as well as an 85 three-point shot. Now, with that 93 midi, you're going to get blinders, dead eye on gold, catch and shoot Hall of Fame, midi magician Hall of Fame. You're just going to get a bunch of really great shooting badges on this build. And with that 93 midi, you're going to be an elite shooter in the mid-range area, whether it's off the dribble or just standstill shots. And then, like I mentioned earlier on in this video, you're going to have an 85 three-point shot, which is going to get you limitless range on bronze as well as claymore on gold. So you're going to be a knockdown shooter out of the three-point line, whether it's standstills or off the dribble. But now let's take a look at some of these shooting highlights, man. Listen, you're going to be a knockdown shooter on this build. If you're not good at shooting on 2K, this is the type of build that you need to get on, because you have that Hall of Fame catch and shoot, which is going to make you an elite shooter. If you can't shoot with this build, man, I don't know what to tell you. You just got to lock in and learn your jump shot. But again, man, as you saw a couple seconds earlier, you could still hit your post fades out the post. Even though you don't have post control, you don't have post fade phenom, you could still hit the fades out the post. And one thing I'd like to mention too is that this build's got a little bit of a quick burst to it. Hit the misdirection behind the back to the mid-range fade, and that is cash. And here's another thing that I'd like to mention. You guys have probably seen this throughout the video. The other reason that I made this build is that for some reason, when you play with rec randoms, no matter what build you're on, they think, let me set the guy a screen. So I said, you know what? Let me make a footer. Let me make a center that can actually use that screen and maybe score a little bit off the dribble, which is another reason as to why I made this build. But we don't just have rec highlights on this build, man. Listen, you can still, get your job done, get business done in the pro-am as well, right here in the post. Again, guys, fellas, I don't have post fade phenom, but we can still hit those shots. Look at this front fade. Put your fucking hand down, bro. Jesus Christ. Shout out to Two Tag. Anyways, oh my God, what a snatch block. But here's the thing. We're taking this coast to coast, hitting with the spin into the crossover, activate the takeover into the spin jumper. You know that's cash, baby. Come on. But now we're back into the recreational center, setting the screen, pop, and got 2 people, 3 people on me. I'm just shooting in you again. Like I said, put your fucking hand down. Anyways, driving to the corner, baseline fade. Man, I'm telling you, you can play like a guard on this build. Look at the pass accuracy. Oops, psych, I lied. This ain't playmaking highlights. This still shooting highlights from the logo. Bang. This, I'm telling you, listen, man. I can't show you all those crazy shooting highlights without giving you guys the jump shot I've been using. This is my go-to jump shot for all my bigs, okay? So base is going to be Jonathan Isaac. Release 1, Tim Duncan. Release 2, Marquis Chris. You're going to get an A+ release speed with having an A release height. The timing stability and the defensive immunity are kind of low, but I ain't going to lie to you guys. And as a spot up, you don't need timing stability. And what does defensive immunity really do? Okay. But again, that's food for thought. All right, so moving on to the playmaking, we're going to have a 98 pass accuracy, which is going to get you pretty much every single passing badge on Hall of Fame, except for one, which is bailout. Because for some reason, we decided that bigs taller than 6'10" cannot get the bailout badge at all. For what reason, I don't really know. But anyways, you're going to get badges like needle thread or dime or touch passer, relay passer, break starter, all that, all on Hall of Fame, and you're going to be throwing some absolute steamers with this build. All right, so now when it comes to the Playmaker highlights on this build, man, listen, this is going to be your upper levels of passing capabilities, man. You're going to be throwing some absolute dots, some absolute steamers with this 98 pass act. Whether you're throwing the cutters in the half court set or trying to throw the breaks across the court for full court passes, you're going to get all those passes out there quickly with a lot of velocity. Look at this right here. It is just flying across the court. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, by far one of the most underrated attributes for bigs in random rec is definitely pass accuracy. You can always tell when a big has high pass accuracy, and you can definitely tell when a big has low pass accuracy. And so the people that are going to say, oh, I can make that same pass with a 68 pass accuracy, a 69 pass accuracy, when I'm throwing full court break starters, catches in stride, come on, bro, you just capping at that point. Like, you cannot make those full court passes like I am making with the velocity and the clean catch as well. Because I know I've used build with bronze, silver, gold break starter. The catches are just not as clean, and it's just not as easy to score transition buckets. I mean, look at this. We're hitting shooters out at the 3-point line without any issue on full court passes. And I'm telling you, man, if you want to score and you want to get easy buckets in rec, there's no better way to make that happen than in transition. Easy transition buckets is going to help you win a lot more games. And it's only really possible to do that when you have a high pass accuracy. Maybe you don't need 98, 96. You could go down to 92, get that half break starter, and really start throwing these breaks and getting your teammates easy buckets. And they're going to like you a lot more for that and probably get you the ball a lot more in the half court set. And for the people that are wondering what Sigs I am using on this build, here they all are right here. But now let's move on to the defense. All right, so now moving on to the defense, we're going to have an 88 interior defense to get post move lockdown on gold, a 67 perimeter defense just so we can move a little bit faster on the perimeter and contest jump shots at a higher rate. And then when it comes to your block, it's going to be an 87 so you can get anchor on silver as well as chase down artist on gold. 85 defensive rebound to get gold box out beast as well as silver rebound chaser. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, silver rebound chaser is slept on. Okay, I always get people that tell me, oh, you can't get boards with silver rebound chaser. I was getting 15 to 20 rebounds a game on this build with silver rebound chaser. Rebounding is about positioning and properly boxing out, which are things that you could do on this build, so you're not gonna get people that snag O boards over you pretty often. And now let's take a look at some of these defensive highlights. And man, listen, although you got the baby arms, the T-Rex arms, oh, I got the 7'1" build with the 7'1" wingspan. You're not going to be able to play defense with that. Wrong. You're going to get plenty of blocks, plenty of stops. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The people that say you can't play defense like this on a minimum wingspan center have just never used a minimum wingspan center. It's like that one segment from SpongeBob where SpongeBob's telling Squidward that the only people that don't like Krabby Patties are the ones that never tasted it, okay? And you've clearly never tasted a Krabby Patty because look at this shit, dog. Look at the defense. Look at the defense, okay? This is not scripted, okay? Same build, minimum wingspan, baby arm, T-Rex stretch, whatever you want to call it. We're playing D. I just don't want to hear it at this point. Can you play better defense on a longer arm center? Sure. Are you going to be a liability on defense on a minimum wingspan build if you actually put defense on it? No, you're not going to be a liability whatsoever, especially since we have the 88 interior defense. That's actually a slept-on thing as well, especially when going up against those post scores and the rec. That gold post move lockdown's putting in work for me. I'm not going to lie. Oh, and for anybody that could have possibly been wondering at this point, yeah, we get snatch blocks as well, baby. But now let's take a look at the build fully maxed out. You can kind of see everything. We got the 80 vert, so we can get the gold chase down, 84 strength for the gold box out. Make sure you have at least a 55 acceleration, so you could also get big driver on gold with this build. And yeah, man, build's pretty simple. I'm not saying everybody has to make this build. It's a very specific play style. It's the stretch bigs that are good on defense that don't have a whole lot of finishing. If you like being able to finish on your builds, drive to the rim, go ahead, make a different build. This build isn't for everybody, but it is for me, especially when I'm playing with randoms and rec. All right, now we're coming out of the My Player Builder and getting the player comparisons of Kristaps Porzingis, Chet Holmgren, and Nikola Jokic. And we're going to get the build name two-way diming spot up threat, which is actually a pretty cool name. It's the only build that I have this year that has that name, and I just kind of like it. It's cool, man. It's not stretch playmaker, obviously, because you can't get that on a 7'1". Tallest height you can get it on is a 6'8". So, I mean, hey, whatever. If you got clickbaited, I'm sorry, but, like, come on now, man. You have to have a little bit of awareness that you couldn't get that on this type of build. That's it, man. I'm out of here. Bye.